Hey guys, welcome to the Climbing Bushcrafter YouTube channel. So today I wanted to just spend a minute and show you how to wrap this up, this paracord or any kind of rope really, in the technique that works the best for me. So before I knew about this technique, I would always wrap paracord up in all these different ways and it was hard to deploy. Well, I finally figured out a while back, a couple years ago, the great Dan Wowak of Coal Cracker Bushcraft. Some of you may know him. He showed me this way that kind of changed the way I do everything. And now I teach this in all of my survival and bushcraft classes. So the cool part about it is when you're ready to use it, you just kind of pull the one end. So when it's finished, it looks like this. You got one end through here that locks it off. And then you have this free end that you just pull. And when you pull it, it comes right out. And as you can see, kind of just keeps coming out and doesn't tangle. And then at the very end, you get the rope that you need and there's no knots in it at all, which is really cool. So I'm gonna show you how to do that really quickly. And I wanna show you in as much detail as possible. One of the things about the way that I teach in school, and honestly, the way that I learn is I was not a great learner in school. I don't know what great learner means, but I was not someone who would pick things up when somebody would just tell me once or show me once. I really needed, unless I did it really, or I had specific instructions, I wasn't able to put it together. So when I teach, I really try to be very detail oriented. So if it's overkill and you're like, I already know that, I just need to see it once, I apologize. But for those of you, and I know a lot of my students that it takes them a little while to get it, and that's fine. But once you get it, you have it forever. And it is a really cool way to wrap up paracord. So we're gonna get started here. Take my right hand, you could use your left hand, and there's gonna be two V notches that I want you to think about, two V's. You got the V in between your pinky and your ring finger, and then you have the V in between your pointer finger and your thumb. So you're going to take one end of the rope, make sure there's no knots in it. And what I like to do is take my hand like this and take one end and bring it around the back and bring the free end, the working end, to the front so it's laying across your palm, okay? So this is V notch 1 right here, and this is going to be V2. So you put it through V1, and then all you do, if you look at the back of my hand, here's the long rope behind it, and this is kind of hanging out here. So the first thing you're going to do is take the long rope, cross it over the short rope, go into V2. So notice that I'm pinching right here, because if I don't pinch, this rope kind of falls out. So I have to kind of pinch this in here for the first wrap. So here's what I do. I take it, go across my palm over the short end, so we have an X, and then I wrap it around my thumb, like so. And then I just go up through V notch 1. Trying to make sure you can see it on camera. V2, V1. Let me get this out of the way. 2, 1, 2, 1. And when you get good at it, you just keep sort of repeating that over and over again. It's that figure 8 motion. And when you get good at it, you can move it really quick like this, and you'll figure that out. And then when you get towards the end, about this much rope left, I don't know, it's about 1.5 feet, really doesn't matter. You can take another length off, kind of like this, about that long. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take it, I'm gonna grab the whole pile and slide my hand out of it. So ready? Grab this. Just slide my thumb and my pinky out of it. Now, kind of keep that bound up together like so. And I have this long end here that's remaining. So this is the end that I'm going to take, and I'm going to wrap it. I'm squeezing this pretty tight. Start going around right about the middle. And I am going to keep wrapping around. And I wrap it around pretty tight, and I try to keep those lines parallel, like this. And every couple wraps, you could take it and kind of give it a little pull, but just make sure that the wraps are equal pressure as you go around. They'll make some loose and some tight because that gets a little wonky, as I once was told. All right, so here you go. This is what it looks like. It looks nice and neat. I like to have a neat little kit at all times if you can, or as neat as it can be. And then when you have about this much left, you are going to, there's many ways to do this, but one way, and the simple way I think, is to just put your finger on top of the rope and your last wrap around your finger, and that creates a loop. So if you remove your finger, like so I'll do that again. So I have this here, I'll put my finger there, I'm just going around the same direction I was going, and that creates a loop once I pull my finger out. See the loop? And then I just take the rope here and run it up through that loop like this, right through there. Give it a little pull. So now is when I kind of like really, this is kind of when you lock it in place. Take my hands here and I'll pull this tight, watch. Kind of give that little yank there. Now I probably, this is a little bit long of a tail, probably could have went around another time or two, but that's okay. And now we're gonna have a situation where we can, and it's actually a little loose here, and that's okay. I would probably redo this, but in the beginning, I just started off because I was trying to get it on film, and that's why this is a little loose. I'll do it again in a second, show you that this will go away. But anyway, when you go to deploy it, you don't look for this end that you tied it off with. You have to find this end that's just sitting there nice and pretty, and then you just go and you pull it. You pull it as fast as you want, and it comes out, and that's that. And you have your rope nice and free. So I'll show you real quick what it might look like if you do it fast. So here we go. Right hand, V1, lock it down, boom, 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 like this. Just kind of wrap it up. And it's funny because my students will come back at the end of class and they'll just kind of have to run to their second period class or whatever, get the thumb in there. And they'll, so I end up doing this a lot. And not only is it really, you get quick at it, but it's also a really nice way to store your rope. So there it is. I hope that you could see that. This is the little deployment method that works really well. So, climbing bushcrafter, I hope that tip helped you out when you're using this 550 paracord. And by the way, I was just messing around. When you rip this stuff open, everybody knows, well, not everybody, but there's strands in here, 7 strands, smaller strands that I just threw out. But I took each strand out and I was trying to break the strand with my hands. I couldn't even come close. So then I tied a clove hitch, hung it up to the rafters up here, and then I started hanging stuff on it. I was hanging my chainsaw on it. I hung my bike on it. I was like pulling on it. It's amazing how strong this stuff is. One of those strands are by themselves, but combined, it's amazing. This stuff is so awesome. I do love it. Paracord 550. I think I get mine at, I think it's called Paracord Planet. You can get it all over the place on the internet. So I hope that you subscribe, tell your friends about this channel. You can like it and subscribe. Those are 2 things. Another thing that I'm excited about is I have a new podcast. One of the things I'm into is leadership, and it's called The Leader Next Door. The Leader Next Door. Think about all the people that have inspired you in your life. For some of you, maybe it hasn't been too many, but it's those people that live down the street that people just love, and they have this charisma and they have this energy that people just want to be around them. And that's kind of what I will be, exposing, digging deeper into, and asking lots of questions. So there's a series of interviews with people all around the country, and I'm excited. You can check it out now on Spotify and Apple Music. It's called The Leader Next Door. And hey, have a great weekend. Summer is here, and I'm ready to get making some videos. And if you guys want to see more or you have any comments, I am no expert by any means. I just do this stuff all the time and learn from YouTube, from books, like these books up here, a lot of these books, and many others. So have a great weekend. Peace out.